Hello everybody, welcome to OCHD and welcome to another Jumputi Heroes news video. Today we're talking about the freshly released Buso Renkin Feature Festival, which I believe is the last one, like, actual confirmed event that they had promised us from way back when. There was a vote and the most popular series were chosen to get additional content and stuff like that, and at some point Buso Renkin was supposed to be added, Siren was supposed to be added. And the way they were added was like one or two characters say, no, we're going to give a feature festival. And boom, here we go. We have got a feature festival. And to be honest, I've got to say this is quite a refreshing event in some ways. I liked a lot of the stuff that was added in the 1500 downloads. But as an event, I felt like it was just a bit too long. And there are a few things I wasn't a big fan of. This event, very, very nice. The only downside, I would say, is that they've pretty much made it so that it's unlikely there's going to be much more Buso Renkin content. There's still a few things they could pick out here and there. But I mean, fans of the series will know they've kind of shifted towards the end of the series. And it's not a long series. It's 80-something chapters. I think technically the last 3 chapters are like in a volume of their own, and they're just like 3 really long chapters instead of like you normally have like 8 chapters or something in a volume. It's just 3 really long chapters to end out the entire story. So we do have some stuff from those last 3 chapters. So essentially, I do think they are kind of saying we're probably not going to do more of this, which is a shame because they definitely left the door open with Siren. But there you go. But yeah, very happy, generally speaking, with the characters that have been chosen. And let's start things out with the login bonus. This is an unfortunate part. They seem to have decided that login bonuses don't need to be very good. Because the last few events, the login bonuses have not been good. And here, that is the exact same thing. You just get 1 copy of Moonface for a login bonus. Bear in mind that this is a farmable character. So I don't really get that. But sure. Okay, sure. They've done the Let's Read Buso Renkin event. And I think this is a very small thing, but I think this might be a sign that, you know, things have been a bit off schedule recently. And, you know, maybe they're trying to catch up. Like, every time they've had a Let's Read This Series thing, they've put a banner, and they didn't have one this time. So whether that is a sign that, like, yo, we just didn't have time because we were doing this, doing that, or whether they just forgot, I don't know. But definitely there has been a feeling of maybe they overextended with some of the things they were adding to the game, and they've had to step back. And we'll talk about some of that a little bit later. But if you do want to read Buso Renkin, it is all on Viz Media on the Shonen Jump app. You get the first 3 chapters for free, but if you have access to the Shonen Jump Vault, which is like $1.99 a month or something, you can read the whole thing, which is what I did. I ended up having to read the whole thing. I only read like most of the way, like about halfway or something. And I was like, okay, just so I could get an idea of what characters I might expect. But no, they went straight to the end. So in the end, I ended up reading all of the end chapters as well. But here we go. We've got the first thing, which is a campaign from Papillon with Love. And you can see that they've sort of made Papillon sort of a centerpiece of this event, even though he's not treated as an antagonist in this event. In this event, the antagonist is Victor. He's the farmable. Papillon is Gacha. But maybe that's a sort of a sign that they didn't want to take too much of a risk. Like Papillon, they probably felt like this is such a popular character, we got to make him Gacha. So that's probably what's going on here, and I think it's fine. He fits the role. But yes, this event, this is also one of the small things that might be a little bit of a gripe. So you need to collect these hearts, these butterfly hearts, and the way you collect them, the only way you can get them is as a luck bonus. And the only stages you can get these as a luck bonus on is the password stage, which is the point stage you get Moonface from, or the daily stage. So it basically means you're forced to farm. I mean, you'll be doing the daily stage anyway, but that doesn't give you enough of these hearts to clear the mission each day. So you have to farm the Moonface stage every day in order to clear this mission. And you have to do it with a luck lead. Well, that's not a big deal, but it does also affect the luck drops for that stage, because for the rest of the day, even after you've cleared the mission, your luck drops will still be the butterfly hearts. So you'll have more than you actually need, because once you get the 150, you don't need any more for that day. And it's just stopping you from getting luck drops of the other items which you do need to farm. Essentially making that farming just a tad bit longer than it maybe needs to be. But I don't know how much good stuff there is in the shop, so maybe that's not a big deal. I don't know, but yeah, you also have to buy like items from this shop, because you get well, let's talk about this first. So this is the Papillon missions. Collect 150 butterfly hearts. It's the same mission every day, and the rewards are different every day. So you have to crack on and get these every day. Obviously, some of these rewards are not a big deal, but other rewards you might want to get. So crack on with these every day, and the stamp is only available on this day. I know a lot of people don't care about the stamps, but if you're the kind of person that has like a collection completionist type vibe going on, make sure you don't miss it, because if you miss it, you might have to wait months and months and months before they add it to a store or anything like that. And yes, with the Buso Renkin ticket gacha, I love when the ticket gachas are actually get added. Like, so many events we haven't had a ticket gacha. You know, the crossover event, we didn't have one. Like any ensembles, we don't normally have one. So it's always very refreshing to have one. Admittedly, your chances of getting one of the new units are not that high, but if you get a 5-star, that's 5% chance. If you do get a 5-star, you're guaranteed a Buso Renkin character, and there's only one that's not a new character in there, which is Tokiko. So it's okay. I think it's okay. Hopefully I can get lucky on this, and hopefully some of the people watching can get lucky on this. Then we have the daily stage where you have to defeat Captain Bravo, and you get this item here, and that gives you experience for your characters, and there are also stamps from clearing the missions, plus 150 rubies. Now, this is one of the things that some people were saying. The login bonuses are bad now, but that's because they're actually rewarding you for playing rather than just logging in. You get the rubies. You got to clear this stage 9 times, you get 100 rubies. 3 times to get 50 rubies. The rubies are still there, but they're integrated into the stages or something like that. And I mean, seemingly we do get more rubies from this stuff than we used to, but I still feel like it's nice to have a login bonus to incentivize you to keep coming back and logging in, and reward you for taking part in the game. I don't know. It just feels weird having a login bonus for one day. For one day. But there you go. And then the password stage, which we were talking about before. You have to farm these 3 different passwords. They are available from the special class stage. All 3 will drop, but you can only clear it once a day. And if you want to farm each individual one, you have to farm them from their specific stages. And those unlock at different dates. So, it has the potential to get a bit confusing, especially because the names mean nothing. But I have used the names from the manga that they specifically use in the password scene. So, if you've read the manga, maybe you'll remember that. Who knows? But the idea is you just farm. Whichever stage is open, just farm until you've cleared out the shop, and then farm the next stage when that opens. And lots of rewards in there. Mainly because they have added not only a new character in this stage, Moonface, they have also added a new legend summon in this stage. So, kinda cool. I actually don't know what type it is. I put red there. I don't know what type it is. They haven't told us yet. But, yes, you'll need to farm the books from the shop. You'll need to farm Moonface copies from the shop. There's Buso Renkin tickets, rubies, Lots of good stuff in there. And remember, this is one of the stages you need to use the luck lead on to get the butterfly hearts, because you need the butterfly hearts for the daily stage each day. Or for the daily mission, sorry. And those are your boosted characters. Now, you will also be getting the Kakugane as you work your way through, collecting the different passwords. And collecting all 3 is something you will need to get this item, the Promise with Papillon item. This one specific event is actually way overcomplicated because they stuff too much into it. But hopefully everyone can kind of pick up what it's about. If you have any trouble, try just reading through the post a couple of times. I'm sure you'll get it. But yes, essentially what you're trying to do is farm these 3 items, and as a result of farming these 3 items, you can exchange at the store for Moonface, a bunch of other goodies, and the Legend Summon books. You get the Legend Summon just from clearing the 2nd stage. I don't know when that unlocks. The 2nd stage unlocks on the 22nd. So the stage unlocks on the 22nd. Farming that one time, you'll unlock the Legend Summon, and then you can buy the books from the shop. And by clearing all these missions, you'll get these 3 items, and those 3 items will unlock this item, and that item is required to unlock a stage later in the event. I think we covered it. Now let's move on to the more standard events. We have Victor Powered, which a lot of people have been sort of clowning on his name. Some people have been clowning on his design. I think both of those things are somewhat justified. He's not, while he's like sort of the most powerful, most whatever, like the insurmountable wall in the series, he is not the antagonist I would associate with the series. Papillon is the antagonist I would associate with the series. And he is, you know, Papillon's there, but Victor is the main man in this event. He is the Catastrophe class event. And you can get an Aura costume for beating the top difficulty. Aura doesn't look too bad, but when I look at it here, I almost feel like this almost looks like fan art. I don't know. The sprite doesn't look too far off of what the actual character looks like, I don't think. It just, I don't know. It looks weird. I don't get it. But anyway, then we have one of the events that I was definitely looking forward to being added. We have Je suis Hayasaka. This arc that he and his sister first appear in, that was basically the arc that I thought, that arc and the, I think that's more like a mini arc, and the story that follows after that, that's where I really thought the feature festival was going to be based. But I guess it's kind of sampled stuff from all over the place, which I'm not necessarily against, but I'm just happy they got in. I'm happy they got in. The brother is the farmable and the sister is the standard gacha. I think that was the correct choice. Very good. And then we have Goto Nakamura, who I really felt like he was either gonna be gacha or not in this event and possibly save for later, because I really believed that they were going to leave a bunch of stuff for later and, you know, give some of these characters a chance later. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. But it's okay. I'm happy he's been added. And this is quite a common thing. They will just throw a character in as like Transcendent class event or whatever when you feel like they probably should be something a bit more than that. It is what it, like a good example would be Kawaki from Boruto. He shouldn't have been a Transcendent class event. That didn't make any sense, but they were like, well, we got to add him somehow, so there you go. I'm not the biggest Boruto fan, whatever. I've read it. I watched like the first, like, I don't know, season or whatever of the anime. I couldn't go further. But I'm not like some huge Boruto fan, and even I was like, okay, come on, Kawaki's like a huge part of the story. Surely he's got to be like standard gacha at least. He does show up in Boruto's ultimate attack, but other than that, didn't really get the representation he deserved, I don't think. Anyway, we now have this event. This is the event that you have to unlock with the item you get from the password stage. The one you get for collecting all 3 Kakugane. And we don't really know, like, is this stage going to be hard? Is this, like, what's up with this stage? You can only clear it once, and you get an emblem, this emblem here. You get 100 rubies, and you get a multi-ticket. So it's not a bad turnout for clearing a stage once, but I'm a little unclear what's up. I don't know why it's been introduced like this, but there is also this stage below it, and I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't know what they were thinking. This stage, they listed in the news as like a mystery to be announced, and it's like, okay, mystery to be announced, what could it be? It's a catastrophe class stage. There's not actually a catastrophe class stage. It's the exquisite butterfly class stage. Which normally just means it's going to be quite easy. As far as catastrophe class stages go, it's going to be quite easy. It only drops an emblem. It doesn't drop an aura costume or anything. They could have easily had this drop an aura costume for version 1 Kazuki Muto. But okay, it doesn't drop an aura costume. It just drops the Buso Renkin emblem, which I guess makes sense. They made the Siren emblem... well, they made the Siren logo an emblem, if I recall correctly. So it would make sense to do Buso Renkin as well. But it feels weird that they would be like, oh yeah, we're not revealing this. This one's a secret. And then if you look on their website, they just posted all the information anyway. So I don't know. Don't know what was going through their head on that one. And actually, is it in the event? It's in the event list. Yeah. It's in the, if you go in game and you look at the list of events, it's like coming in 5 days, and there's the stage. Which might make you think, or maybe that's not the mystery stage then, but bro, I've looked at the data, trust me, that is the mystery stage. So I don't know why they were trying to be coy about that one, because that's weak. That's weak. I think I've actually put the time wrong for this. I think it starts at midnight, but regardless, it doesn't matter. We have the Buso Renkin Tower boost. Make sure to bring your Buso Renkin characters along. Notice how Papillon is right at the front, and we have the limited right at the front, making it very clear Papillon's the boy. He's the real antagonist, the real boy. And then we have the Rurouni Kenshin Reprint Festival. If you didn't know, Buso Renkin is by the same manga artist and writer, Nobuhiro Watsuki. I know he is a somewhat controversial topic due to his personal life, but he still gets plenty of feature on Jumputi Heroes. I can't control that, sadly. And, you know, if you missed out on any of the Kenshin stuff, a good opportunity to pick up on those events. And even if you have beaten them before, the shop for the Hakubaiko perfume and the, I can't remember what it's called, the Flippity Floppity sword, those 2 events have reset. So make sure that you go in there and you clear those out. And also that event that's like training with Hiko Seija or whatever, and you get limit break doors. That stage is also back. Clear that each day and get the limit break doors. So there's still stuff to do even if you have already cleared all the Kenshin content. Then we have our limited Buso Renkin limited gacha, Kazuki and Tokiko. Now, I really wanted this to be the limited choice, but I really thought it wouldn't be. I had a strong suspicion that Kazuki Muto would be a standalone limited, because that's what they did with Siren, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that choice, but I really feel like the Agehel we got, I personally would have made a standard gacha, but they decided that that version had to be limited. It's a bit strange, I don't know. But yes, we have another dual unit, and it is Kazuki and Tokiko. And I really like this pair after reading the series, so I'm happy for them to be added. Sadly, I cannot summon, because we know what's coming next month. Next month's going to be crazy for me for rubies, but very cool. very cool addition. And something you may notice if you look closely, not necessarily at this image, but most images in general of them, if you line up side by side with the old versions, these are updated sprites. So that's interesting to me, because I don't know, I really felt like they were just going to use the old sprites and just make them do a different animation, but no. These are new sprites, so maybe there's a thought process behind that, maybe there's a reasoning behind that. I'm not sure. It could just be a case if they've tried to follow along with what the art style was trying to do in the manga, maybe. But still, very, very cool addition. And we have the new Heroes Gacha. I'm a little bit upset that they've done that thing where they include the old standard gacha. I sort of get it, but it shouldn't be on any of the guaranteed steps. The guaranteed steps should all be new hero. You shouldn't have a chance of getting an old standard gacha unit on a new hero gacha on your guarantee. I think that's not right. But still, a very nice standard gacha lineup in general. I'm very happy with the character choices. And the format is not one of the best, because you have to do 4 multis to get a guaranteed new hero, which I'm not a big fan of. But I guess that's just the way they kind of justify it. They're just like, well, you know, you want Buso Renkin characters. You asked for this event, well, you gotta pay. You gotta pay. So yeah, defeat gacha, not really worth talking about, because as you all know, I do not recommend you summon on these. And then this is disappointing. The special ticket pack. The reason this is disappointing is because, typically speaking, in the past, feature festivals would have 2 packs. They would have the special ticket pack, which is this one, which I would argue is too expensive, and they would have the daily gift pack, which is much cheaper. You get a ticket straight away that gives you a guaranteed 5-star character, guaranteed new hero from the series, and then you get 2 other tickets to give you a chance at a 5-star, and if it is a 5-star, a chance at one of the featured units. And that one also gives you some rubies, and that pack is way better value than this pack in almost every way. I'm a big fan of that pack rather than this pack. And sadly, that pack seems to have been cut at some point. Like, we thought it wasn't in the what was the most recent feature festival? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't a feature festival, maybe it was something else. But regardless, it hadn't been in some recent events. And we thought maybe that was just, you know, whatever. Like, they just decided not in this event. But now it's been a couple of events without one. I'm starting to think they've cut that one and replaced it with this one, the Chance Pack. And this sucks. This really sucks. 980 yen, you get 100 rubies, and you get 2 10% chance tickets. So you have 20% chance of getting a new hero. That's just stupid. You can buy it 3 times, so the most you can have is a 60% chance. You know damn well the reason they won't let you buy 5 of these so that you can get 10 tickets is because they would have so many people complaining to them about, I just did a multi with 10% chance tickets and I didn't get a 5-star. Now obviously probability doesn't guarantee you would get one, but people would still be pissed. Let's be real. And I really think this is dumb, this is stupid. Just, I don't know why they've done this. Don't buy it. If you really want one of the new heroes, you can maybe go up to the 4th multi on this banner, but I don't even really recommend that. I really feel like they've fucked over this gacha. But what can you do? What can you do? And then we have the guaranteed Kenshin characters gacha. Only really recommended if you're new to the game and you really love Kenshin and you don't have a lot of the characters. This will give you a chance in 3 multis, 2,250 rubies, to get 5 Kenshin 5-stars and potentially more if you're lucky. So pretty cool, but yeah, just only really if you're a new player and it's something you're really interested in, because if, you know, A, you could get a bunch of like year 1 units, which is not very good, and B, these units, I mean, some of them have good utility in that, but generally speaking, if you should be spending your rubies on other stuff. There's other better stuff to be spending your rubies on. You have the limited release pack, which they put out all the time, and I only really recommend buying if you are a whale. And then we can move on to the other stuff. So for other stuff, we have Toriko's birthday on the 25th. We are supposed to be getting a reward on his birthday. I assume it's a gacha ticket, but I don't know what gacha ticket because we haven't had a Toriko event. So I don't know what that's going to be. It might just be like a gold standard gacha ticket or something, but well, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see. That's in 5 days, and you get a free multi on the Toriko limited banner. So if you are going for Toriko, you get 500 gems off if you're going all the way, which is pretty cool. And I'm sure a lot of people will get lucky on the first multi. They typically do. And then we also have a Katekyo Hitman Reborn returning limited gacha. This is because Katekyo Hitman Reborn is the next feature festival. I feel a bit weird recommending people summon on these gacha because it's, typically speaking, not a good idea. But maybe they'll change the steps on it and stuff. You never know. Officially, we have no information on it just yet. And then we have this gacha, Party Strengthening Support Gacha Bleed Edition. I was kind of looking at these character skills, and not all of them necessarily have an association with bleed. So I don't know if I've misunderstood something here, but regardless, there's a few cool characters featured here. Depending on what the steps are, you might be interested on pulling on that. I don't know. I'm definitely not going to pull on it. And then, oh boy, then we have this one, the seasonal character pickup super gacha. So, for clarity, for those who don't know, the super gacha is essentially referring to, at the end of the month, we have a gacha called the Superstar Gacha. This month, we are not going to be getting the Superstar Gacha. We've got this instead. And it's not the first time that they've done that. And I guess the idea is they want to spice it up because not enough people were summoning on it. But the Superstar Gacha, the idea with the Superstar Gacha was you would do 4 multis and you would get a fragment of a limited choice ticket. So if you did 40 multis, you could just choose a limited, which in a way sounds good because every time you do a multi, you have a chance at getting one of the limiteds or one of the special units. But at the same time, 40 multis for one limited is scoundrel-like behavior. Absolutely unacceptable. So I don't know what they were really planning with that. I guess their idea was, because they were giving out some of these ticket fragments for free, that some people who really wanted a limited might be tempted to quickly do 4 multis just to get maybe the 1 fragment they're missing or the 2 fragments they're missing. But they have taken it up another step, and I've got to say, I hate this shit. I hate it. So we recently realized that they had deemed that Kirizu Sensei, the limited version, is a seasonal unit, which arguably makes sense, but we hadn't had a seasonal limited in a long time. We kind of thought that wasn't a thing anymore. Turns out it is. But okay. Then we had the crossover between Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter, and they decided that those units would be seasonal. Not the limited for some reason, but the standard gacha units are seasonal. Now, why they're making these decisions, I didn't know. But now it has all clicked. They have done a special gacha, and yeah, this is outrageous. As far as we know, the only guaranteed steps you have is the 4th and 8th multi. The 4th multi and the 8th multi both give a limited choice ticket fragment. And then the 6th multi gives you a guaranteed 5-star. But while it gives you a guaranteed 5-star, it specifically can only be a hero grade unit. So that guaranteed 5-star cannot be a limited. So even though they put Kirizu and Sasuke front and center on this banner, there is actually no step at any point in this gacha that can get you those units guaranteed. And even if you go through the whole process of getting all the selection tickets, they are not on the selection ticket. There is no way to guarantee that you get those units from this gacha, which is fucking stupid. It's so stupid. I don't know what they were thinking. Well, I do know what they're thinking is. They want money. They want money. But they want people to go 6 multis to get 1 standard gacha unit. And obviously, they would say, oh, well, you have a chance. You have a chance anyway, so it's fine. Bullshit. This gacha is bullshit. If it's got a discount step, first step, like 500 rubies, maybe you want to throw that 500 rubies out. The rest, do not summon on this. Do not reward them for this behavior. This is horrific. And, I mean, that's my official review of that one. And it's such a shame. They got some cool characters that are just locked out of the game. You cannot get them. I hate it. I hate it. But there you go. And then we have the double 6-star sale pack. It's not horrific value, but I wouldn't recommend summoning on it. You do have a limited pool, so you will get like probably a slightly more recent character from this for 980 M, but I can't really recommend it. So it's what it is. And then we have the Reborn 5-star ticket pack, 980 yen, you get a guaranteed Reborn character. I do not recommend this. I just do not recommend this. They haven't even put any of the newer Reborn characters at the front. So you know they're basically saying to you, you're not going to get anything good. So don't pull on that. But this is some additional leak information, some highly suspect and highly volatile information that we have retrieved from the data. And that is information on the upcoming Katekyo Hitman Reborn Feature Festival, which, as I said, will be the next event. And this seems to confirm that the next event will be based around the Curse of the Rainbow arc, which is the final arc of Katekyo Hitman Reborn. I think some people saw this coming simply because they had said in the past that they enjoyed covering the arcs of series that had not been translated into anime yet, because it was a good opportunity for people to see those characters in animation for the first time in this game. Sometimes first time seeing those characters in colour, but not so much with Katekyo Hitman Reborn, but you know, like for example with Promised Neverland, they covered Goldie Pond because the anime didn't. The anime didn't cover Goldie Pond. So people were very happy with that, and people were very happy seeing Enma in the game from Katekyo Hitman Reborn when that got added. So I guess they're just following on with that trend, and I've got to say I don't disagree with that. I think that's pretty cool. I think this is a cool arc to cover. But what I do find interesting, we have no confirmation as of yet whether we will be getting the actual Arco Baleno as characters in the event, or whether we will be getting the Arco Baleno's representatives in the event. I would argue that the Arco Baleno make a lot of sense, but I think it is a lot more likely that they will use the representatives. I am hoping we don't get just the same characters again, but I just feel like if you are not a fan of Katekyo Hitman Reborn, the Arco Baleno might be a bit of a hard sell if it's the whole event. If the whole event is just a bunch of these, what essentially look like little chibi characters. I know the whole game's basically chibi characters, but even more chibi. It's a bit of a hard sell. It might be a bit difficult. I don't know. I personally think it would be very cool, as a fan of Katekyo Hitman Reborn. You could have... We've been getting about 8 characters every event. That's pretty much the standard for this game. And you've got 7 Arco Baleno there. And then you would have the 8th as the main antagonist of the arc, which I will talk about more if I ever do like event predictions and stuff. I don't know if I will, but Don't want to spoil too much here for people that weren't expecting to come along and take your Hitman Reborn spoilers, but it can work. But I just think possibly they will maybe go with the actual representatives and maybe one Arco Baleno as a character, or maybe a mishmash. I don't know, but I do feel like it's, I don't know, it's a bit strange that you could have, I don't know. It would be weird if they had the event and they didn't have sprites for the Arco Baleno. That would be weird to me. Because it's like, oh, whose team are you on? It's like, we haven't even got sprites for him. If I don't know the series, I don't know what you're talking about. So, that would be a bit strange to me. But, yes, you can choose your team. You can choose which Arco Baleno you are representative of. And you get these pretty decent looking emblems, to be fair. But seemingly, you can only get one. We don't know that for sure. I mean, obviously, this is all like data mine stuff, so we don't know. But seemingly you can only get one, and that kind of sucks. I'd like to get them all, but there you go. And yeah, my feeling is, I mean, I'm interested. You've caught my attention. I mean, I don't know, the character I would want most as a limited is on the table now. Whether that will be added or not, I don't know, but it's on the table, so we will see. And yeah, pretty cool. So for the Reborn fans, look forward to that. Then on the Tier 1 version, we have 1500 Days Part 2. And I was so certain that they were going to be getting Dragon Ball content, exclusive Dragon Ball content. And it turns out, Taiwan just like money. They did a bunch of reprints, they did a bunch of special gacha, all for Dragon Ball, all which, if it was on Japan, would certainly indicate that there is an event coming for Dragon Ball, or there is a unit at least coming for Dragon Ball. Turns out, no, they did that because they like money. Instead, an actually very interesting pick. We have Sephiria Arcs from Black Cat. Now, this is it's so out of left field for Taiwan, because Taiwan typically their exclusive picks are One Piece and Naruto and Saint Seiya, and that's it. We did get Hoshinengi earlier this year as exclusive, which was very cool, but I kind of thought that was one of those situations where it's like, oh yeah, we've done this, but don't expect us to do much more of it, okay? But no, we've got something a little bit different. We've got Black Cat, which is very cool. And one interesting thing to note about this, there are a few events tied to this as well, which is cool. You can get the Kronos emblem. I still don't know what these, like, how these items are utilized in the event, but I'm sure somebody who plays Taiwan could tell me. Maybe, I don't know. But what's interesting is the IDs, which is not something we normally, well, we occasionally talk about it, but the IDs for all of this stuff, for these items down here, and for the, I think it's for the event banners, or there's also a legend summon. Did I not put the legend summon on here? Oh, I didn't put the legend summon in. There's a legend summon as well. That is all. They all have a Taiwan ID, and what a Taiwan ID is when they don't want to interfere with content that's going to be released on Japan, so they have a set of IDs that are way up high, so high that there's no chance they'd conflict with Japan, and they put the characters there. So normally that's in like the 700s or whatever. Instead of starting it off at 0, 1, 2, 3, it's in like 7. So that is what they have done with all these events, all these emblems, the Legend Summon, which I apparently haven't posted here, and all of that stuff. But with Sephiria Arcs, she has a standard ID, exactly as you would expect to have seen on Japan, which would suggest that she is currently planned for some upcoming JP content. What that could be, I don't know. But there is a lot of potential things. I think, sadly, there is a very good chance that she will be a Tower Limited, which it's not ideal because they're so expensive. And, you know, some people would argue, oh, they've got some good utility here and there, but it's like, if you're, imagine you're a new player and you're starting out in Tower for the first time and someone says, oh, like, yeah, this character's got some good utility or whatever, and you grind and you save those tokens up so you can buy just one copy. By the time you get to the point you're buying one copy, you've probably got limiteds that are pretty much doing the job that character would have done. So it's kind of pointless. They're just so expensive. But maybe she won't be. Maybe she'll be a limited. Maybe there'll be some other content. Who knows? But I'm interested to see how she'll be implemented. It's a very nice sprite, and it very much feels like a added to Taiwan first, but made for Japan first type of sprite. Because sometimes you'll see sprites that are added on Taiwan first and are a bit wonky, or like they've got some weird aura that looks stupid. But hers looks pretty clean, and her animations look pretty clean too, so I'm pretty happy with it. And then we have the countdown to the 3rd anniversary in Taiwan. And as you can see, they've done the bait gacha I talked about for Dragon Ball. They've done the same for Kimetsu no Yaiba. And there's a reprint festival and all that stuff. So clearly, they just like money. But they're getting the same sort of gacha we got in the countdown to our anniversary. And they've got that Black Cat gacha that gives you I think it gives you guaranteed Train Heartnet on the first multi and guaranteed Creed on the second multi. I still wouldn't really start on it, but I mean, I guess if you don't have either of them, that's pretty good. But yes, the 3rd anniversary on Taiwan, all we know about it is it's most likely going to take a lot of stuff off of the anniversary we had, the 4th anniversary, but it cannot take All Might and Deku and All For One and Shigaraki, because those characters have already been added to the Taiwan server. They were added during their version of the My Hero Academia event. But those characters cannot come. Smoker also cannot come. Was already added to the Taiwan version. So that's 3 characters gone straight out of the gates. And we will have to see what they do to fill up that gap. I'm quite excited to see. Because it's their anniversary, I would expect an exclusive. Who it will be and how they will be implemented, I don't know. Typically speaking, they only get exclusives as limiteds. And I mean, our event didn't even have any standard gacha anyway, but it'll be like limited and like a catastrophe stage or something. That's probably all we can expect. But I will be very interested to see what they choose and what they add. I wouldn't be surprised if they just turned it into a One Piece event. But you never know. You never know. You can hold out a little bit of faith. But yeah, very interesting to see what they will do. I will look forward to that. That's in about a couple of weeks. We should be finding out about what's going on, or like a week or so. We should at least have some idea of what they'll be adding. And until then, that's it. That's all the news. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you all, I don't know, sometime soon. Goodbye.